26. Kami bago Sikhakhane. Compliments of the new year.
Thank you very much. Compliments to you too, Babu Kumbi. Ngicela ukuthatha ithuba ngibingelele umlaleli wherever la ekhona. Ngihloniphe kakhulu ubuholi beVibe FM 94.7, the first choice of umphakathi. Kuyintakozo kakhulu Babu Kumbi to come back a studio siphinde futhi sikwazi ukuthi sibe nama session ethu the Wise Corner. I'm so happy. Ngiyaxolisa kakhulu futhi kumlaleli ukuthi it's been a long break. Kodwa ke God has afforded us another opportunity to be here. Siyabonga kakhulu. Namhlanje Babu Gumbi, we're starting the year and ngiyakholwa ukuthi abaholi ama-leaders wherever they are kunezinto ezibalulekile that they have set out to do. Ama-leaders awanayo lento le eyenziwa abantu, angisho ukuthi wrong, but bona bayenza more than the average person. Kunalento le kuthiwa ama-resolutions.
Okay.
Ukuthi kulonyaka I'm committing myself to do this, ngiyecommita ukuyeka lokhuyana ebengibona ukuthi akungisebenzeli futhi akukho kuhle. So abaholi, they do that in December, they do that in January, they do that in June. Noma ngabe kusiphi isikhathi into engafanele bayiyeka, into fanele bayenze bayiqala futhi.
So it is a continuous process that is endless.
Yes, it's always a continuous process because bona ababuki just impilo. I know ukuthi ma organizations nama financial year, but vision lesifuna ukukhuluma ngayo Babu Gumbi speaks of the future.
Okay.
So it's very serious. So then if it demands a change in a leader, and therefore kuyaphoqa ukuthi fanele ukuthi kube naleyo change. There's a verse in Habakkuk sike salibuka before, even last year sisizovala. It speaks of a very unique information that the prophet, it's quite fascinating ukuthi such an important body of knowledge is delivered to us through a prophet. And Babu Gumbi, I think even this year, I must make a strong disclaimer to say that we Wise Corner, we don't teach leaders just to have church. We don't teach the principles of God just to have church, but we speak wisdom from God in relations to the affairs of man and of the earth.
Correct.
Because God is not just God to have church or to do church with. God is the creator of the universe, the earth. So when we speak of vision, we're not speaking about vision for churches, even though we may include that, but that's not the main focus, right? So when Habakkuk speaks, he speaks of the vision, and he says that the vision is for a set time, though it tarries, but it shall surely come to pass. I think it's verse 2, where it instructs her to write the vision plainly on tablets, so that whoever reads the vision might be able to run with it, right? That's for clarity. So what we're trying to focus on with leaders, Babu Gumbi, the time has come where leaders will stop leading alone, where leaders will stop doing small outcomes, where leaders will not have the results that they're born to produce. So we are teaching on serving a vision corporately.
Okay.
This is so important, Babu Gumbi. I know ukuthi people, a lot of leaders, they have started to believe in visions. We're seeing vision statements and mission statements almost everywhere. There's what people call, normally that's personal, they call a vision board. So those things, it is clear that people are now focusing kakhulu when it comes to vision. And that's a milestone that has been reached, and we need to celebrate that.
How do we assist a corporate normal, an organization whereby a leader ngenxa yokuthi khona osupervisor bakhe
Yes.
ebese kuthiwa we need to have a vision mhlawumbe yale department oyilidayo. What is the vision ebese ehamba yoyithenga ngithi uyazi ukuthi khona ama-companies adayisa akhelwe nje ukuthi bakhe benzela abantu ama-vision ama-mission statement ama-logo and all those things ahamba yokuthenga bese yokubeka lapha ya. What do we say to such people?
Babu Kumbi, this is very important, right? Mhlambe just to answer that question briefly, the other session we spoke about a body, where we made clear that the word in the Bible body comes from the word corpus, the word that is used for firms, that's corporations. It comes from that root word, right? So in a body, as you have called it, departments, right? So it's a part that forms, that's a part in the body, right? So umzimba, the body itself, is made out of multiple systems, right? For example, let's say we're looking at a limb. It could be your arm, it could be your leg, right? One, I'm saying one of, because there's many, one of the system that states your skeletal system, right? So if you go into your skeleton, you understand there's red blood cells, and maybe just to name one mineral that's seriously required there, it's a intake of calcium. You see, so specifically the liver in the body might not necessarily need much calcium as the bones will require. So therefore, in a department, there must be a sub vision. But not necessarily, you can have people in an organization that makes you and help you, where you consult so that your vision is made clear, so that it is readable. Someone is able to understand, because there are some leaders, Babu Kumbi, that do not possess that ability to make the vision plain. To do something and to make it plain, it's very different. You have in organizations, Babu Kumbi, people who are smart, but you cannot really follow them simply because they do not have the ability to make the vision clear. They don't have the capacity to tell you, this is where you fit. This is where I fit. This is where others fit. But they can excellently do, for example, you have people like accountants in an organization, people who are meticulous when it comes to numbers, where things belong and all of these things. But when it comes to leadership, you find someone might struggle even communicating clearly. They're just full of emotions and becomes tense, and they get angry at that one rand that did not balance, and the environment just becomes something else, right? So we're saying vision, we have people that can make your vision clear, but you must never just go out there and go fishing for visions.
Ikhonzeni yami ukuthi you buy the vision. Then how do you move forward with it?
Okay.
How do you convince another person, okay, this is my vision? Because you know deep down in your heart that you bought this vision for its display more than the implementation.
The implementation. Okay, Babu Kumbi, let us just be fair, right? In the matters of vision, there is something very particular. And we must never miss this. I know that when we go to higher institutions of learning, we kind of adopt this pride sense that we're there and we have gotten the best of the best of the information. Sometimes that might not necessarily be true. You might have the body of knowledge, but using it for the intended purpose, that's another question, right? So let us break down the process of attaining a vision.
Go on, Baba. Ngiyafuna ke le ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi ayizokusiza umuntu osekhona.
Yes.
Isiza nomuntu ozongena into understanding ukuthi okay, I am starting this. Kusho ukuthi njengoba ngiqala, this is something important. I-vision ikhona lapha ngikwami, is of paramount importance, i-vision. Then how do I start?
Then to execute it. Okay. There's going to be 4 steps that I'm going to explain. And today we're going to be just generic. We're going to have a chance where we go one by one to make sure that it is clear. One, the process of obtaining, these are 4 steps.
Okay.
In vision, right? One, this is very important. Vision is downloaded from God to the spirit of mankind. That becomes very crucial. And this is a serious advantage, Babu Kumbi, and the listener, because when a vision is downloaded in your spirit, you do not take a break from it. You don't visit it. It resides in you. So therefore, you have a competitive edge more than any other person because it resides in you. It speaks to you. It is within your makeup. And by design, then it can function with you, or else you can also function with it. So it bonds with the human spirit. That means you have 24 access to it. Someone who has bought the vision, that's a different story, right? Because it comes from the Spirit of God downloaded to the spirit of man. Second step, it is transferred from his spirit to his mind. That's where now it gets broken down. Because one thing that happens, you see, Babu Kumbi, these things we called so-called callings. Callings. The word calling, basically, I don't like to spiritualize stuff. We're going to break it down to make it simple. The word callings come from the word call. It's something that calls you, meaning it draws your attention. Something also important in this very sentence, it speaks to all your senses. The word passion also comes into play in this sentence, because when your senses are being drawn nigher, then there's a passion that ignites. This thing starts boiling up in you, and then you starting wanting to respond. Everything with you is drawn towards this thing. This is where I'm just deviating a bit. My apologies. This is where marriages fail. Marriages that were instituted outside vision. Because your personal vision has to even dictate your marital life.
Awungihlale lapho. Ngifuna ukubuka ukuthi in marriage there are 2 people with different visions. How then do we fuse these things? Do we have to keep them separately with their own visions, or fanele kube ne consultation, kube ne conversation eyenzakalayo between the 2 people?
Okay, Babu Kumbi, there's one thing that we have to make clear. According to creation of man, both men and women they have the prerogative of having a vision. Why would they have a vision of themselves separately? It's because there's an assignment of rulership that they've given to rule the earth, right? So that means they have to oversee resources, understanding themselves, their giftings, and then on and on. And then there's this crucial point where they need to marry each other, right? So this becomes very important. Vision, for it comes from God to the spirit of mankind. Then God becomes very important. Not the God of having church, but God who created man and the affairs of man, right? So a woman will have a vision, a man will have a vision, but eventually both must submit. This is so important. Both must submit to one vision, and their visions must be sub to the main vision. And the vision of the wife, I don't have time to explain all of this, must submit to the vision of the husband, because there's a hierarchy. But all these visions are meant to be implemented. Not one should be dissolved. No. Women's Month and speaking about them, we will talk on those issues, right? Because vision is the subject of mankind. The reason why I was saying this, Babu Gombi, and drawing marriage in, it's because that vision of that person is also going to influence the vision of the home.
Not of the house.
Of the home. Why are we saying that, Babu Kumbi? We know. I think even the way, Babu Kumbi, we raise kids, children, is supposed to be on a pedestal of vision. Because it might be that this person desires to be the best, and they have the makeup. I mean, when I mean the makeup, the gift, the ability to break it down, to become the best medical practitioner, medical thinker, medical influencer, everything that has to do with medicine, right? And this is where you have to weigh against the vision of the father in the house, for example, against the vision of the child. It's an unending subject. But let us then come back. That is why we're saying we must be faithful to the vision that we have received, because visions will then therefore give you an idea how your family is supposed to be like, how your behavior is supposed to be like. And vision is going to even tell you where you do not belong. Not maybe in a conflicting manner. You will just easily know that is not. And that is not where I'm supposed to be. The companies that you're not supposed to join. Vision tells you that.
How do you see that the vision has been realized?
Babu Kombi, sike sakazi ukuthi vision is the image of a preferred future.
Okay.
Vision shows you that there are problems. And somehow, just outside the eons of time, it gives you a picture how it's supposed to be. And that is your criteria to match or to assess and evaluate that are we there yet or not. So the problems that you see not aligning with the vision, that means you're not there. But when the vision is the same with what's there physically, then you can say you have achieved the vision.
Semsakazweni wakho uthanda kakhulu Vibe 94.7 kanti sise khoneni lethu esilibiza ngokuthi is a wise corner with the wise man himself. Ngicabanga ukuthi lapha ekhaya uyasizakala, ngiyafisa ukuthi usizakale kube khona okudlayo. Ingakho ngizokubuza umbuzo ngoba wena ukho la. Ngifuna ukuthi lo mbuzo ngenzeka usemqondweni womuntu othile lapho ekhaya. Kodwa mawufisa ukudlulisa umbono, ungawudlulisa ke ku WhatsApp wethu 072 904 0900 072 904 0900 Baba Sikhakhane.
Number 2, this is the process of vision. Transferred from his spirit to his mind. This one is very critical. This is where, maybe just to make it clear, the word vision, when Solomon breaks it down and explains it, there's a verse which says, where there's no vision, people perish. Another version says, where there is no vision, people cast of restraint. So vision is also a discipline. Someone who's a visionary is someone who has discipline. That is why we said at first the foundation is when you receive the vision, it infiltrates your spirit fully. And you become what it is, because there is a portion where King Solomon also advises, and he says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So we explained before that the word vision means sight, right? So if it means sight, it has to do with imaginations, images. So the more you behold or you see a vision, it transforms you and you become a discipline yourself to the vision before you carry it out. So it needs to transform you inwardly. That is why I say it is transferred from his spirit to his mind. This is where Babu Kumbi leaders need to be very serious and zealously serious, because some people fail at this stage. It's not that you find that when Paul admonishes a young leader by the name of Timothy, he says, stir up the gift that is in you. In other versions, he says, put into flame. So it's your responsibility to always dip your gift into the vision. It means your ability being connected. This is where, Babu Kumbi, we lose a lot of great leaders in this point. People that have graduated from receiving a vision. And maybe I must just reiterate this one, Babu Kumbi. When we speak of visions, we're also speaking about creating planes. Yes, aeroplanes. Understanding the law of gravity and aerodynamics. Getting that and having something troubling you, like the Wright brothers, in your spirit, and you say, this thing can fly. But if you cannot download that from your spirit to your mind, that's where we lose greatness.
Yeah.
That's where our education system cripple leaders of note in our generations. Because they cannot grab something from the invisible and bring it down. There are men in previous generations who downloaded the automobile, cars. They seen them without seeing them. And we drive today what they saw back then, because they were able to allow themselves to download from their spirit to their mind.
Mm.
Principle number 3, because of time, communicate what's in your mind to others. I remember when you study Henry Ford, the person is known now for his cars, right? But when you study the man, you find that Henry Ford's main success was the construction of an engine that is able to, what they call it, I can't remember the name of this engine, but an engine which uses energy and burns energy. What's the scientific word? I'm losing it. A combustion engine that's able to burn fuel, and then it brings about a linear motion. You see, you burn a fuel, and then it produces this motion. It's either you're going forward and going back, you're able to move the sides and all of this thing. This man tried and failed until he was able to get this engine, right? And then from there, he was able to communicate. Sat with inventors, sat with people who did chemistry, and then they gave this thing to birth. Through being able to communicate to others. Yes, this is where also, Babu Kumbi, we're coming. I'm going to be serving a corporate vision. We're coming there.
Yeah.
I'm going to just leave the listener with the last step. We're going to work our way towards there, right? So this is where, after communicating with others, then it is achieved. This is where groundwork now is done.
Yeah.
So it is achieved through multiple gifts. This is where someone gets to learn as an inventor. Oh, there's something called marketing. You see, because in their world, they just thought, I need to get this thing to work. But someone needs to take it to the marketplace. Someone even needs to announce it that it's there for people to even know about.
Ngizama ukuyisimplifya nje yonke lento esikhulumayo ngicabanga kwa-education. Kwa-education unikwe ibhuku noma umthetho ekuthiwa i-syllabus. Thiwa kodwa labantu abafunda. Ake lo okukhiphile akekho kuzo zonke izinto ohlangana nazo wena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Babukum, that's very powerful. And this is where we are saying a lot of leaders lose greatness here because they believe in working hard. It is failure to work hard at less important things when you have a serious matter to attend to. It is seriously an error, but we want to wrap with this, Babu Kumbi, to say then vision is going to be achieved through many gifts. So it's not only adequate to prepare yourself, but to also try and get a sense. Sometimes it's not even through yourself, but through others. You can sit down with Babu Kumbi, and Babu Kumbi as your manager. As your manager, you are even the CEO, but he can advise you, tell you this. No, super. This is the main person that we need. We need to go out there. That's the process of hiring people. So we want leaders to attain to greatness. We have entrepreneurs that are supposed to take off, but they still possess the mind of hustling. We say hustle, but don't die hustling. Hustling is just an entrance. But you're made to make and build something big and serve a vision corporately.
Yeah.
Ngicela ukubonga kakhulu baba.
Bonga ngifuna ukuthi kuke kwababuhlungu enhlizweni yami ngibuka ngeke ngafelwa imoto ngaya kwenye indawo engeke ngisho ngiyofuna usizo lokulungisa imoto. Ngathola ukuthi lo nesitifiketi akakwazi ukusolve inkinga. Khona I'm sure akayanga ngisho esikoleni. Kodwa ufika imoto isihlala isikhathi eside ayexazululeki. Yena ubizelwe ukuthi akalethe into ethile. Usefika ukuthi hayi wrong lento othi angiyilethe. Waba nesibindi nje angazi kanjani. Wathi wrong lento othi angiyilethe ngeke ikwazi ukuyilungisa imoto. Lento elungiswayo. Wathi mana angazi noma uyazi igama lento awayelanda wathi mana wabuya nakho wathi nakho ukuzolungisa njengoba ngisho nje wathi nakho ukuzolungisa le moto iphume ihambe. Wahamba ngempela within few hours kwathiwa landa imoto.
Yes, it's true. You are able to achieve these things. Enye ke mhlambe that if when we get an opportunity is to be outdated in your field. Your certificates will not save you.
Like sebenza khona uthi uzawethu uthi mphathi ngiyacela sithole omunye umuntu a fresher mind, fresh from the university ngoba mina ngiyabona outdated. Abanye abantu they refuse ukuthi bamukele isimo abasuke sebekusona uthi outdated. Imphumela engiyikhiphayo ikhombisa ukuthi kuningi la engisale khona. Can we please?
That is why Babu Kumbi, the subject of vision, it becomes very important. Because when vision is in your spirit, it doesn't let you go free. You like a software. Updates is something that you cannot live without. It becomes your second nature. But asibaleke Babu Kumbi, ngicela ukubonga kakhulu for this opportunity. We're going to continue next week. We're just going to look at the stages, sense it justice next week, so that when we go to serving corporately, it makes sense for us as individuals. Thank you very much.
Angazi ngiyadinga ngisafuna ukuthi si expanda kanjani.